From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Ben Orloff, Mr. Dollar, at Continental Insurance Company in New York.
Oh, yes, Mr. Orloff. What can I do for you?
Did you ever hear of a place called Virtue?
Are you kidding?
I'm very serious.
Oh, wait a minute. Virtue, South Carolina?
That's right.
You, want me to go down there?
Yes, if you will.
Do you have a bulletproof vest and a couple of extra handguns I can take along?
Well, my one suggestion would be that you do not take along any firearms. After all, ex-gangsters.
Yeah, I see what you mean. All right, what do you want me to do?
Our representative has his office in Georgetown. He can give you the whole story. His name is Joseph Pigotello.
Got it, Joseph Smokey Pigotello? The guy whose name was linked with Murder Incorporated a few years back?
Yes, Dollar, Joe Smokey Pigotello. You, sure you want this assignment?
Well, I'll tell you this, Mr. Orloff.
Yes?
If you don't have to pay off on my insurance policy before I'm through, well, mister, this is going to cost you a whopping big expense account.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Continental Insurance Company, Georgetown, South Carolina office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Village of Virtue matter. Expense account item 1, $47 even, transportation and all the incidentals I could think of, Hartford, Connecticut to Georgetown, South Carolina. Item 2, $1 for a cab to Continental's office on Screven Street.
Hi, Dollar. I'm Joe Pigotello. Glad to see you. Sit down.
Thanks. Now, look, Joe, before we go into this matter, there's something I'd like to know.
Sure, pal. Ask it.
Just what are you doing in the insurance business?
Look, you remember back in New York just before Tom Dewey took over as DA? The great holy racket buster?
Yeah, and I'm sure you do.
Okay. Well, I was just a young punk then, but I was a bright one. Ambitious, you know. Finished up my high school, started taking law.
You studied law?
Why not? I could have cleaned up. You know, mouthpiece for some of the mob, some of the boys I knocked around with. But then Dewey came along, broke up the racket, so I gave it up.
To do what, Joe?
Oh, you know, this and that. Chicago for a while with some of the boys Al Capone left behind. And down near the border at San Diego for a while.
Smuggling narcotics across from Mexico?
Then some of us tried Las Vegas, but we didn't get any... What was that crack?
Well?
Listen, I'm clean. You make a crack like that, you can prove it, okay. If you can't, don't say it.
You were telling me how you got into the insurance business.
All right. When I'm taking you on this case, don't talk like that. The gents I deal with don't like it. And don't forget, whatever you think about them, you could also be wrong.
Okay, Joe.
Two kinds of wrong, Dollar. Just plain wrong and dead wrong. You see what I mean? All right, as I was saying, how I got in this insurance racket.
As you were saying.
Well, some of the boys from New York and Chicago and around did pretty good. Instead of blowing all their dough on booze and dames and big times, they were smart. They leased an old plantation up in the valley north of here on the PD River. The old Carowway plantation. It's right next to the town of Virtue.
Great name for a hideout, I'll say that.
I didn't say hideout, Dollar. It was just a nice, quiet place where they could live it up in a nice, quiet way. And at the same time, they wouldn't have any cops around their neck.
No police in Virtue?
Nobody but old Parley Carowway. Anyhow, after 6, 8 months of taking it easy, mint juleps and hunting and fishing instead of being on the lam all the time, well, Johnny, you wouldn't believe it.
What do you mean?
Well, they all settled down there to spend the rest of their life. They all went respectable. Every last one of them.
You sure of that?
Well, it's been 20 years now. Can you be any more sure than that?
I don't know. But go on with what you were saying.
All right. I got an idea. I signed up with this little insurance company. Then I went up to Virtue and made the pitch. They're all respectable now, and they got to make like respectable people and cover themselves with a lot of insurance.
And it worked?
You remember Lefty Snapper?
The old-time numbers king from Chicago?
Right, bookies, slot machines, everything. Old pal of mine. So when he told the rest he was buying insurance, well, Johnny, I got policies on every one of them. The rest of the town, too. On their life, their homes, everything.
Okay, now let's get to the point. What's happened up there in Virtue?
Trouble, Johnny. Old man Carowway phoned me.
What kind of trouble?
Well, 20 years now, the boys and the people in Virtue have been getting along fine. The boys have been behaving themselves, and the people in town are all nice people. Until a couple of weeks ago.
What happened?
Bully Magoon had himself a nice little fishing boat. Had it ever since he went straight and moved in up there. 20 years ago. Now somebody stole it.
Well, why don't you just pay off his claim and forget it?
Listen, a couple of days after that, Mr. Avery, that runs the general store in Virtue, had his boat stolen.
So you'll have to pay another claim. But small ones, Joe.
Will you listen? Ever since then, not a day has gone by that somebody hasn't had something stolen from him. Mostly the people in Virtue. Boats, cars, money, furniture, anything you can think of. The people blame the boys, and the boys blame the people. And, Johnny, there's going to be a civil war in Virtue unless somebody finds out who's doing this. And if that happens, there's going to be a lot of killing, and, well, with all the insurance I've sold, me and the company are going to be in trouble.
Well, can't you get the state police to come in?
State police? In Virtue?
You said it's a real respectable community now.
Yeah, sure it is, but, well, dragging them in might really start things off. That's why I had to send for you.
Look, why don't we go up there so I can see for myself?
Sure, Johnny, sure, but, hey, open your coat.
What?
I mean, if you're going to take along that lemon squeezer, well, take my advice and don't.
You have a pretty sharp eye, Joe.
Johnny, boy, I can spot a shoulder holster a mile away. But so can some of the boys up in the valley on the plantation. And I don't want you to end up with a slug between your eyes.
Real respectable people.
Well, shall we go? My car's outside.
Into the Valley of Death rode the 600.
Huh?
At least a couple of them.
What are you talking about?
Nothing, Joe. Let's go.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
Our flag now numbers 50 stars, and behind each star, there stands yet another flag representing one of the 50 states. Florida state flag bears the Red Cross of St. Andrew in sympathy with the flag of the Confederacy on a field of white. Centered over the cross is the state seal. Within a golden circle, the sun, an emblem of glory and splendor representing absolute authority, peers over a highland in the distance. Flowers, a symbol of hope and joy, are scattered by an Indian maiden, indicative of the Indian influence within the state. Centered is the cocoa or palm tree, an emblem of victory, justice, and royal honor. Florida state flag, the flag of the 27th state to enter the Union, was adopted in 1900.
And now, Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Village of Virtue Matter.
Joe Pigotello, erstwhile gangster turned insurance agent, led me out to his car, and we headed north out of Georgetown, South Carolina. After 20 miles or so, we swung onto a side road paralleling the PD River. Then finally, we came to the old Carowway plantation. Acres and acres of huge old live oak trees, festooned with Spanish moss. Flowers, millions of them. Azaleas, iris, roses, rhododendron bushes aflame with color in the afternoon sun. Then, at the end of a broad, tree-lined path, the fine old colonial mansion with its towering pillars. The property faced the curving, lazy yellow river, and lying across it was a broad expanse of marshy grass, crisscrossed here and there by canals, through which the slaves in olden times hauled the rice crop to the riverboats. Yeah, it was a beautiful spot. A calm, quiet, peaceful spot. Apparently.
Well, here we are, Johnny. Let's go in to see if anybody... Whoops! Hey, hold it, you punks! It's me, Smokey!
Smokey!
Who else? Put those guns away! You want to get in trouble?
Don't you guys know no better to come barging in this way without letting us know you're coming?
Come on, Johnny.
Sure. Nice, peaceful spot, huh?
Who's that you got with you, Smokey?
Boys, this is Johnny Dollar. He's from the insurance company. Johnny, this is Bull Magoon.
Yeah.
Hi.
And this is Lefty Stemper.
Hiya.
Johnny Dollar, huh?
And the shrimp there is Flippy Lakovich.
Hiya, Johnny. I'm pleased to meet you.
What? Hands away, Flippy!
What did you
bring here, Smokey? A dick or something? Yeah, Dollar, what's the idea of packing a ride?
All right. Let him go, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Look, he's on our side. He's up here to find the stuff that's been stolen.
Yeah, we don't need no outside help.
Oh, you've found who's behind the thefts, huh, Lefty?
No. If it's any of your business,
It
then I
is
don't
my
think...
business.
You're interrupting me. Yeah, Dollar, shut up. I say we'll find out who's coming over here from Virtue and taking our stuff ourselves. And when we do, we'll eliminate them.
Right back to the old days, huh?
If we got to protect our rights.
How about letting me have my gun? Well?
Hear that, Flippy? He wants his gun.
You make a move the dollar and I'll flip you so fast.
Oh, you mean like this?
Hey, it's Flippy got flipped.
Attaboy, Johnny.
Yeah, the shrimp finally got it. Hey, Johnny Dollar, you're okay.
Anybody else want to get smart?
He cut me off of the guard.
Expert, huh, Flippy? Well, you ain't anymore.
Now, Lefty, I'll take my gun.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, you're okay, Johnny Dollar.
All right, now let's get things straight. I'm not the cops, but I'll drag them in if necessary.
Oh, no, listen.
You listen. I'm going to try to stop what's going on around here, and if any one of you interferes, I'll have you locked up so fast you won't know what's happened to you.
No, wait a minute. Now, listen to me, will you, Dollar?
Well,
Look, I guess we're all kind of shaky. You know, we're sort of somewhat upset by the events of the past couple of weeks or two. You know what I mean?
Lefty, Joe told me that if the burglaries, robberies, whatever they are, go on much longer, there's liable to be a war between you and the people of the town.
We ain't worried now. We got enough guns and ammo stashed away around this.
Shut up, Bull.
Oh, yeah, sure, Lefty, sure.
I'm sure you have. But if you ever expect to make peace again with the townspeople, if you expect to stay on here...
We got at least 15 years to
you.
go.
Shut up.
Okay.
All right, look. All we got here is our hunting rifles and our shotguns and a couple of pistols in case of a snake, you know, while we're hunting or fishing here in the swamps. A lot of cottonmouths around here, you know.
Yeah, that's a fact, Johnny.
The point is, I didn't come here without providing for any and every exigency.
What's that mean?
Oh, boy, what a dope. It means if anything happens to him, we're dead. Now, ain't that... excuse me, isn't that right, Dollar?
Right.
You see?
Now give me a hand, cooperate with me, and maybe we can clear this thing up. Don't, and I have only one alternative.
What's that mean?
Shut up.
And that's to have you legally ousted from here, out of the state if necessary.
Oh, now look, Dollar, we'll cooperate. Now, I don't mind telling you, we love this place. Look, it's the only real home we got. Flippy and Sadie, we got Bull and Mary and me and Nora. Maybe we got records, all right. Some of us maybe did time for some of the little jobs we pulled, huh? But we've been playing it straight since we come here all along the line.
It's like I told you, Johnny.
Yeah, honest. Look, that's the way we want to keep it. If the people in Virtue will just leave us keep it that way. And you know something? I don't get it.
Don't get what, Lefty?
Well, over 20 years, everything's been nice and okay, huh? Now they gotta start this.
What about the losses they've suffered?
They asked me, Dollar, they're phonies to cover up for robbing our stuff.
Nobody asked you.
Oh.
Maybe they think the same way about your losses.
Huh? Say.
Yeah. Now, where's the owner of this place? Carowway?
Oh, yeah, he's over in Virtue at his office.
Office?
Sure, he's a mayor and a police.
All right. Joe and I are going over to see him.
Now, Johnny...
Smokey, will you please don't go? They see you guys coming from here, they're going to take a shot at you. That Carowway told me so.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll take that chance. Come on, Joe.
Well, I'll tell you, Johnny.
Tell me along the way. Come on. The more I thought about the whole thing, the sillier it all seemed. Yet it was obvious that even after 20 years, Lefty and Bull and Flippy might think of only one way to settle their problems, with a gun. And if the people of Virtue were feeling the same way. But as Joe and I walked along the main, the only street of the little town, there were no signs of hostility or even suspicion toward us.
Now, look, Johnny. If those bums back at the plantation are making this trouble...
Why? Why would they, Joe?
Well, that's what I don't get. But what if they don't like your interfering and decide to knock you off?
Then I'll probably go to my grave unmourned, unremembered.
Yeah, but you told Lefty you'd provided for every exigent... for if anything should happen to you.
Yeah, and he and the boys believed it.
And if anything does, Huh?
Yeah. All I can hope is that they keep on believing.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
Sometimes a quotation is a helpful thing because it points out some wisdom that helps us to lead better lives. Here's one that struck me as being very wise and true. Dr. Samuel Johnson, that wise and witty man immortalized by Boswell, said, quote, "It matters not how a man dies, but how he lives," unquote. A man's life may be long or short, but the way he lives it is the important thing. It's important, no matter what he does, that he have integrity, loyalty, and honor, and a sound code of conduct. Enlisting at the age of 17 with his parents' permission, Corporal Charles L. Gilliland found himself, soon after his 18th birthday, in a narrow defile in the middle of the treacherous rocky terrain of Tongmangni, Korea. At 2:30 a.m. that moonlit morning of April 25th, 1951, Corporal Gilliland's Army unit, Company I, 7th Infantry Regimental Combat Team of the 3rd Division, became the focal point of a murderous assault from Chinese Communist forces. The fighting became brutal and bloody. The brunt of the attack was directed up the defile guarded by Gilliland with his automatic rifle. The slashing barrage of small arms, automatic weapons, mortar, and artillery fire was dropping the men all around him. Gilliland faced the full force of the assault and, advancing against tremendous odds, poured a steady fire into the attacking forces and eventually halted them. For valiant and heroic conduct, Corporal Charles Gilliland was awarded the Medal of Honor. Although in age, he still may have been considered a boy, he had lived and died like a man.
And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Village of Virtue Matters.
Joe Pigotello and I walked the main street of Virtue, South Carolina, unmolested, virtually unnoticed. And we found the mayor, Parley Carowway, in the little shack that served for an office.
I'm also the police chief, Mr. Dollar. Don't you forget that, sir.
And you found no clue as to who has been committing the robberies?
No, sir. None whatsoever. But who else would do it? They're all three of them ex-gangsters.
Sure, ex-gangsters.
Why, Mr. Carowway? Why would these men suddenly want to make trouble with their friends, your townspeople?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Unless, of course, they think they can take over the way they used to take over gangs in the old days.
After 20 years of a happy relationship?
Mr. Carowway, they never made a bit of trouble in all that time.
I know it. But the fact remains that unless this trouble stops, after all, Virtue was here long before they came, unless it stops, I say, I shall have to break their lease and make them leave the plantation.
Oh, they pay you pretty well for it, huh?
Enough to keep it in good repair.
Hey, that's a beautiful ring you're wearing.
Huh? Oh, yes. 2.5 carat diamonds, sir.
Yeah. And is that your nice new car out front?
Yeah, it certainly is. Ain't it pretty?
About $8,000 pretty.
Hey, didn't you have a new one last year, too, Mr. Carowway?
Of course. I try to have one every year. But now,
Tell me one thing, Mr. Carowway.
Yes, sir?
If you really think the robberies around here are going to cause so much trouble...
Oh, I do. That's why I contacted Mr. Pigotello.
Well, why haven't you called in the state police?
Because I am the mayor of Virtue. I'm the police department, and I can take care of these things myself. And now that you gentlemen have witnessed the bad blood between these gangsters and the people of the town, well, sir, I'm going to throw them off that plantation.
In spite of all the money they've been paying you?
Yes, sir, and I'm sure you gentlemen will back me up in... all the money, did you say?
Enough to keep you well-dressed, well-fed, and fancy cars.
And now, look here, sir. Do you realize how much that property will bring?
Well, that depends. How much have you been offered?
I'll tell you how much. $124,000. How did you know?
You just told me.
Well, now, listen.
You also told me why you've been robbing the people of Virtue and those men at the plantation to stir up bad feeling, give you an excuse to get them out.
What?
Johnny, you're right.
Now, just...
Carowway, if I do call in the state police, it'll be to have you locked up.
No.
And if Joe here has any sense, he'll tell the insurance company to bring charges of fraud against you.
You said it.
Oh, but the money. Think of all the money I could make selling the old place.
Now, where's the stuff that's been stolen?
It hasn't been harmed. It's stored away, carefully stored away. I was going to give it back when those men left, and I could sell the place.
Give them their stuff, too?
Well, I'd make up for it in cash, every cent of it in cash, yes. I'd say it was for breaking the lease. Truly, Mr. Dollar.
Now, you listen, you old money-grubbing crook. You're in trouble.
You'll call in the state police?
You bet I will. Unless
what, sir?
First, you lay off the plantation. You've leased it to those men. Let them have it. And return all the stuff you stole.
Oh, but if they find out...
Well, you figured how to get it away from them. Now figure out how to get it back. Discover it, anything you like.
Well...
The point is that if you don't get it back, I'll tell them where it is. And you know what that'll mean.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Dollar. I'll get it back.
Also respect that lease. I believe it has 15 more years to run.
Yes, sir, it has. I will...
Okay. Do all this, and Joe and I will forget the whole thing. But if you don't, And Joe will be checking on you.
You said it.
Oh, but I will, Mr. Dollar. I promise you I'll get
Okay.
right on the...
Come on, Joe. Let's go back to the plantation and have a drink with some respectable citizens. Yeah, this insurance business really has some funny ones. And I guess it's the funny ones that balance out the bad, the tragic cases. Anyhow, I like it. Expense account total, including the trip back to Hartford, call it $100 even. And in view of our little secret, Joe, well, maybe you'd better pay it out of petty cash. And listen, those pals of yours, you better drop in on them now and then to make sure they do stay on the straight and narrow, as well as that old coot Carowway. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Our star will return in just a moment.
Our flag now numbers 50 stars, and behind each star there stands yet another flag representing one of the 50 states. Michigan's state flag was born on February 22nd, 1837. Because of the strategic role played by Michigan in the War of 1812, the word "to a bore, I will defend" is prominent on the blue flag of Michigan. Beneath it, a rising sun casts its rays over a lake, and a man standing on a peninsula with his right hand raised, symbolizing peace, while in his left hand he holds a gun, indicating that although they love peace, the people of Michigan are ready to defend their state and nation. Another motto, the state's official one, is at the base of the flag: Si queris peninsulam emonam circumspice. If you seek a pleasant peninsula, look about you. Thus does Michigan's flag carry its own invitation to visit one of America's scenic areas. Michigan's state flag, the flag of the 26th state to enter the Union, was adopted on August 1st, 1911.
Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, a strange series of fires. And believe me, the reason for them is a strange one, too. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone, who also wrote today's story. Heard in our cast were Frank Nelson, Billy Hallop, Jack Crucian, Peter Leeds, Gil Stratton, and Will Wright. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cubberly speaking.
This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Sure, they may have plenty of blue blood in Boston, but from what I just saw, they've got plenty of the other kind, too.
this is another in the adventures of America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator, Johnny Dollar. At insurance investigation, Johnny Dollar is only an expert. At making out his expense account, he is an absolute genius.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. To Home Office, Tri-State Life and Casualty Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of my expenditures during my search for your missing policyholder, Miss Michelle March. Or, she came in like a lion and went out on the lamb. Or, she should have been banned in Boston. Expense account, item 1. $2.85. Railroad transportation, Hartford to Boston. Expense account item 2, $1.80. Cab fare to the corner of Longwood and Huntington Avenues. A half block from the apartment house that was Miss March's last known address. Boston may be called the cradle of liberty, but somebody else got rocked to sleep that morning on Longwood. The shots came from 2 carbines and 2 men in one light tan club coupe parked across the street. I waited long enough to memorize the license number as the pot rotted out of there, and then I headed for the victim. My heart was pounding, but not from exercise. He'd been sprayed coming out of a doorway that, in another 20 seconds, I would have been going in. But the coincidence didn't stop there. Take it easy now, will you? We'll get you some help. You know who did it?
March.
What? I didn't get you.
Tell him. Ask. Michelle March.
Michelle March? Well, that's who I'm looking for. What's she got to do with it? Can you hear me? What's Michelle March got to do with it? Come on now, try. I wonder if I should have stayed in Hartford.
I didn't see it happen, but I sure heard it. Like a shooting gallery. I was inside the shop, and, brother, that's where I stayed. Hey, mister, how is he? Can you tell?
Yeah. Let's just say you don't need to stand back to give him air. He can't use it. While the 2 limelight-happy characters from the crowd argued about who was going to notify the police, I disappeared from the scene by way of that desk doorway, pausing inside just long enough to learn from the buzzer panel that Michelle March's apartment number was, unluckily, 213. I didn't bother to look for the apartment house manager. I didn't even bother to pick the lock. I put my shoulder to work on the door. The apartment to search, but it didn't offer anything to find. The only thing even faintly resembling a lead I found on the floor behind the bureau. A book of matches that advertised Boston's best bar by far, Flannery's, with an address on Washington Street. About then I decided that rather than being found at the scene of breaking and entering, I'd look up the police at the scene of murder.
Come out of here, Sergeant. You'll have to give the
Here he comes on. Yes, bending over.
Oh, who are you there? What do you got to say about this?
Oh, not much, Lieutenant. He was shot from across the street by 2 men in a tan club coupe. Probably stolen. License number, Massachusetts 3R165. Weapons were carbines, .30 caliber Army issue.
You sure of all that?
Yeah. Here. This will tell you why I make it a habit to be sure of things.
Oh. Dollar. Insurance investigator.
Uh-huh.
Hartford. Well, in a way, that makes 2 of you.
Huh?
I'm Lieutenant Val Dollar.
Sergeant Major.
The dead man was a local detective. Private license, good business, and a bad reputation.
Name of?
Something I can't pass out right now.
Well, look, here's why I'm interested, Lieutenant. If friend detective was on a case, he could have been hired to find the same party I was hired to find. And since he was blasted at said party's last known address, it could be that somebody doesn't want said party found. which paints an interesting but gloomy picture of my future.
Who is this said party?
A girl, Michelle March, reported a missing persons in New York yesterday by a worried sister, who is also the beneficiary of a $25,000 insurance policy owned by Miss March. The insurers, Tri-State Life, got the report from missing persons and hired me to find her.
You think she's dead?
I'll tell you when I find her.
Yeah. Now, what makes you think the deceased might have been looking for her, too?
Because he mentioned her name just before he went bye-bye.
Where are you staying, Dolly? Just in case we need you.
Cartwright Hotel. Now, look, Lieutenant. You've got a murder and I've got a missing person. You can loaf if you want to, but I'm eager. I want to talk to the apartment house manager. Any objections?
No. Go right ahead, Dolly. Good luck to you.
I am over this, Mr. Dollar. I've managed rooming houses for over 30 years in Boston, some very nice ones, too. This is the first murder I've ever had. Oh, why did fate point at me?
Fate didn't point, Mrs. Macy. The gentleman was knocked off because he was involved with one of your tenants.
Oh, that's impossible. I've tried so hard. References, my own personal observation.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Mrs. Macy. In fact, the more personal your observations were, the gladder I'll be.
Well, it isn't that I snooped, Mr. Dollar.
Oh, of course not, Mrs. Macy.
Who was it?
Michelle March, 213.
Oh, she's a lovely girl. But her habits were quite irregular. Often came in late.
Oh. I understand she hasn't been staying in her apartment for the past 2 weeks. Do you know where she went?
Why, no, but I did happen to be just outside her door when she came out with a suitcase and her gentleman caller. Her employer, I believe she said. Something about some work they had to do in the country.
Uh-huh. She leave a forwarding address?
She had little reason to do that. Why, all the time she's been here, the only letters she's gotten is from somebody in Chicago. One a month. A man, I'd say, from the penmanship. Didn't get one this month, though.
Do you, by any chance, remember what those letters said?
Oh, you young upstart. I'm only trying to help.
I know, Mrs. Macy. You're a lovable old gossip. After Mrs. Macy chased me out of her apartment, I questioned some of Michelle's second-floor neighbors. What they gave me only augmented the story I already had. She hadn't been seen in the company of anyone for 4 or 5 months, until Dapper, medium-build, and Swarthy took over. All of them had seen him. None of them knew his name, but they all agreed he was the guy Michelle March had marched away with. Everything I learned added up to a dame getting tired of waiting for somebody in Chicago and ducking out with somebody else. It would have looked that simple if it hadn't been for that detective who had so recently taken up new headquarters in the city morgue. Expense account, item 3, $4.75, drinks and dinner. After which, expense account, item 4, $1.80, taxi ride, taken on the strength of the weak clue I found on Michelle's apartment floor. The match folder from Boston's best bar by far, Flannery's. Flannery's look like they wouldn't want to know how old you are, but how many stretches, and in what prisons. Above a row of greasy bottles, the wall behind the bar was covered with pictures of fighters, right from old John L. up to Rocky Graziano. But none of them looked as brutal as the 8 or 10 gorillas who had their feet on the brass rail. I decided this was no place to ask for a lady, so I asked for a drink.
Yeah?
Straight rye, double.
You've never been in before. Where are you from?
I'm trying to forget. Has, Blackie been around lately?
Who's Blackie?
Well, maybe that's not his full name. It's the one I knew him by. He wore a lot of sharp suits, about medium build, dark, swarthy.
That could be anybody. Now drink your drink, pay for it, and move along.
Now, wait a minute. Now, I haven't got anything against the guy. I'm looking for a dame that's with him, see? What's the freeze for?
I need the room, expecting a private crowd. Now beat it.
I'm off, Flannery.
Oh,
Maybe I want to talk to these guys.
I'll see that, Flannery.
Yeah, I told Joe I'd beat him at the gym.
I'll get closed up again if I get any more trouble this week. Take him outside, Roxy, huh?
Shut up.
What's this Niles name you're looking for?
Michelle March. You know her?
Yeah. Let's go someplace and talk.
Thanks for the invitation, but let go of the arm. You'll get gangrene when the circulation is cut off.
Sorry. Come on.
What makes you so upset about the lost Michelle?
What do you want with Louis Marine?
Louis Marine? If he's the guy she's with, all I want him to do is to point her out.
You and me might get along at that. It'd be worth plenty to look out. Get this rifle! Hey!
The car they were in was different, but those carbines sounded the same. I rubbed my nose raw trying to bury my head in that sidewalk. I knew they had to empty those carbines sometime, but instead of sounding better, it started to sound worse. I twisted my head, shot a look at the street, saw one of the attackers in the process of falling out of one of the windows of the gun car. Closed my eyes again and realized why they never let my kind of insurance investigator be a policyholder. I'd been sent to find a missing girl, and there I was in the middle of another Boston massacre.
You are listening to Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Charles Russell.
It took a full 20 seconds after the smoke of battle had started to clear for me to realize that I'd been saved by the arrival of fire support from an unexpected source, the police. I looked around for my new friend and brother target, Roxy, but he had disappeared. A wave of suspicion broke over my flow of thought with this question. How did it happen that all those cops with all those guns just happened to be in all those hiding places waiting for those gunmen to drive up and open up? Answer, a hunter's stew like that usually calls for a pigeon. I didn't feel like flying, but I did, straight back to my hotel, with one landing and a newsstand. An evening paper gave me everything else I needed, except the feathers. But I wasn't exactly cooing when I got to my hotel room phone and put a call through to the Boston police.
South Precinct, Sergeant Miller.
Give me Lieutenant Bell on homicide.
One moment. Homicide, Lieutenant Bell.
This is Dollar, Lieutenant.
Oh, Dollar, sure. I'm glad to hear from you.
I'll have your badge for this.
What did you say?
The evening paper. Quote, Boston private detective, whose name has been withheld by police, was slain today, presumably to stop his search for a missing girl. It was learned by this paper from reliable sources.
Oh, now, Dollar.
That another investigator still alive has joined the hunt for the girl.
Well,
Johnny Dollar, well-known Hartford insurance sleuth, checked into room 705 at the Cartwright Hotel today. Well, you want more?
Why, I can't understand it. I told the boys not to say a word.
I think the boys didn't.
Oh, now, see here. A man would have to stoop pretty low to use methods like that.
You probably touch your toes every morning for practice. Well, I hope you got the results for your stakeout in front of Flannery's. You got 2 hot carbines and a hot car. The evidence that could have talked, those gunmen, are so full of police lead that your only chance of learning anything now is to find somebody strong enough to pick them up and write with them.
Now, wait a minute, Dollar.
You know who hired them?
Well, I'll find out.
When you get confused, check with me. I think I know. Now, do I get the name of that private detective? The deceased?
Well, I don't see any harm. Bernard Knight.
Hired by?
Well, all right, Dollar. If you'll cooperate, I will. According to his files, he was hired by Roxy Morris to find the girl. Now, who hired the gunman?
I think, but don't know that they were hired by a gent named Louis Marine to stop Roxy Morris from finding Michelle March. Why? We'll have more about that later. But if you'll put a search on that pair of names, I'll look for a good night's sleep. And after that sidewalk, it was easy to find. Oh, Boston. Good morning.
Hello, is this Mr.
Dollar?
Wait a minute until I pick you up off the floor. Who is this?
Is this Mr. Dollar?
Yeah, it is.
Well, this is Michelle March.
Huh? Good morning, Michelle. I've been looking for you.
That's why I called. I read that you were hired by my insurance company.
Yeah, that's right. They don't like disappearing policyholders.
Well, let me tell you this. If they want to save the money, they'll have to pay for me. Stop looking for me.
What are you afraid of? That Roxy Morris will follow me?
What do you know about Roxy?
They'd like to find you and Louis Marine.
What did he tell you?
Oh, what counts is that I filled in what he didn't tell me. Namely, that he was in Chicago for a year, and you were supposed to be waiting for him in this fatal apartment on Longwood Avenue. But instead, Louis Marine landed, took the situation well in hand, and captured you for himself.
You're just trying this on for size, aren't you?
If it fits, keep it on approval. The point is, there are too many people looking for you to stay lost. Where can I meet you?
How do I know I can trust you? I can't trust anybody.
Look, I'm still working for insurance company, so my greatest interest is keeping you alive, not selling you out.
What about the police?
My promises aren't equipped with lifetime guarantees, but I'll do what I can. If you tell all, and if the story is big enough, they should be willing to make a deal.
It's big, all right. They'll clear something out of their books that's been there for a year.
Where do I meet you?
You know where Charlestown is?
I know it's part of Boston.
Take the subway and get off at City Square. An hour from now. I'll be in a bar. The Gangplank. On Chelsea Street. Near the Navy Yard.
Okay, sweetie. I'll be there. Up until now, whoever's been doing the shooting has used everything but battleships. Even though Michelle's story sounded like trap bait, cheesy indeed, I had to take a chance. I dove into a cab and had the cab dive into the top of Hanover Street and down to Boston's North End. Playing quiz games with strangers in that section is called Take It or Lump It. But a few well-placed 20s led me to a neighborhood undertaker who had the officially unproved reputation of creating a large demand for his own services. We swapped donations. I gave him $50 and he gave me a large out of the corner of his mouthful.
Listen to me good. About a year ago, the laws picked up a Roxy Morris on a suspicion. They had a good idea. He's heisted a 75G payroll. But there were no witnesses. He didn't leave none. Roxy knew they'd watch him, so he hightailed it out of town. But he didn't detect the loot with him. The boys around here got it back on the grapevine. He was suffering from the shorts. So, everybody figured he had the dough stashed away somewhere right around here.
Is that all? Have you got anything else to tell me?
Yes. Goodbye.
I didn't like the way that undertaker said goodbye. I legged it up to the subway station marked Union, went down in and caught a train for Charlestown. Once at City Square, a 3-block walk down Chelsea Street produced the Gangplank Bar, which in turn produced that nose-bruising smell which comes from slopping beer on sawdust. Out of place in the place sat Michelle March. She was a good looker, with a bad look. And if I had been Roxy Morris, I would have elected her the last national bank. I flopped into a booth beside her. She turned her head my way, looked me straight in the kisser, blew a smoke ring at me, and popped 2 words through it.
You Dollar?
Yep, I'm Dollar. You March?
I'm Michelle March.
Well, so far so good. It's nice hearing you breathe. That means Tri-State Insurance can keep its nice $25,000.
Only if you keep me this way, Mr. Dollar. And that might prove to be a difficult thing to do.
Oh, maybe not so difficult.
Why not?
Well, you indicated yourself that your magnetic personality might suddenly attract a few steel-jacket bullets. That means there'll have to be somebody to pull the trigger. So all I have to do is to sit around and see who tries to take a shot at the target. You. And we've got our man.
It's not that easy. I'm in trouble 3 ways. And it's hard to see 3 ways at once.
Look, I know all about Roxy Morris. He swiped $75,000 and gave it to you to mine.
You don't know the half of it. 2 months after Roxy was gone, a guy named Louis Marine came to me with a story that Roxy had sent for $20,000. I gave it to him. Then he told me that Roxy had never sent for it. And that if I squawked, he'd convince Roxy that I'd fallen in love with him and just given him the money. Made the battery tip off the police. He had me going and coming.
Nice fellow.
He wouldn't leave me alone. He made me give him $15,000 more of Roxy's money. And 2 weeks ago, I got word through to Roxy in Chicago. He blew up. Turned on me. I've been running from him ever since. He wants his $75,000, all of it. And I haven't got it.
Oh, seems like you've been taking chances all the way. Now, you know what I want you to do?
No, what?
Take one more. I told Michelle what I had in mind for her, during the next few hours at least, and grabbed a cab back across the bridge into the North End. Expense account item 5, $50. Another donation to my expensive undertaker. This time I paid him for talking, but not to me. Then I took over the telephone and dialed my way through to the guy to whom I was about to give a chance of becoming the ding-dong daddy of the Boston Police Force, Lieutenant Bell.
Yes, Dollar, this is Lieutenant Bell.
Bell, how would you like to get the goods on Roxy Morris?
I'd like it fine.
Okay. And along with that, how'd you like to pin a receiving stolen property rap on Louis Marine?
I hope you aren't just being salty, Dollar.
I'm not, Lieutenant. Now, look, you may have to do some trading with the gal on this deal.
Yeah?
You may have to promise her some time off for verbal good behavior.
Well, such things are possible. All right, what's the pitch?
Listen, I have baited a tall, thin granite trap for Roxy Morris and Louis Marine. The bait is Roxy's ex-girlfriend, Michelle March.
Okay, what then?
I had a tipster call Roxy Morris and tell him that Louis Marine was meeting Michelle at a certain place at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah.
I also had Mr. Blabbermouth call Louis Marine and tell him that Michelle is meeting Roxy at the same time and the same place.
What?
I had him tell each of the gentlemen that Michelle was meeting the other one with what's left of the money in cash.
Oh, you've started a war, Dollar. But if it does the trick, it's worth it. All right. What's my move?
First, call the place where I've arranged a surprise party and tell them to get rid of the public. Also tell them to let a girl named Michelle March come and go as she pleases. Also me.
Oh, don't tell me you've set this thing up in a public place. Where is it?
Lieutenant Bell, what I want is for those two characters to run up a blind alley. And when I say up, oh, brother, they got the word the Michelle meeting would be held at the top of the Bunker Hill Monument.
Oh, no!
And you might remember what General Prescott almost said. Don't fire till you see the red in their eyes. I was back in Charlestown and at the base of the Bunker Hill Monument at 2:45. The door of the museum at the bottom was open, but a state park officer stood by its side. I told him who I was, and he nodded me through the bronze doors. Officer, did Miss March get here?
Yes, sir, young man. She went up the shaft.
Oh, well, look, can I run the elevator myself?
There isn't any elevator. Just steps 200 to 300 of them.
Oh. Ow, this may be going to heaven the hard way, but here goes. Halfway up the winding granite stairs, I yelled for Michelle. But she either didn't hear me or just didn't want to answer. I kept going and hoping. As I came closer to the top, I tried yelling again. Still no answer. Finally, I made it. Up into the observation landing at the top. Michelle was there. She still wouldn't talk, but she had written me a note. Beside her crumpled figure was a vial that hadn't been filled with perfume. The note was short and to the point. Dear Johnny Dollar, I still want to help, but I hadn't better be around here alive when everybody gets here. And it was signed Michelle. As I bent over to see what kind of bye-bye medicine she'd taken, I heard something that might mean a sudden dose of lead to the head for me. Either Morris or Marine had landed, and there I was stuck at the top with a bait that had suckered them into a trap, which suddenly turned out to be mine. Waiting up there in that tiny room for death to come get me would have killed me anyway, so I started down. Over the pounding of my heart and my own steps on the granite blocks, I heard the pitter-patter of anything but tiny feet come charging up a narrow staircase. Whoever was coming up and I both slowed down, but my heart didn't. Then I crept around a curve and my eyes went into a head-on collision with a pair staring back.
What are you doing here?
I'm a tourist, Roxy.
Maybe right, white guy. You may be taking a trip. Who's up there?
Up there? Oh, I don't know who they are, just some girl with a guy she